Welcome, guys, to the Game Over Guild, the place where we talk about tricks, tips, gameplay, and everything in between. And today is our very first episode of The Waypoint, my new talk show where I bring in guests and we talk about exciting video game topics from the very beginning to basically the whole past, whatever the heck we want to talk about. There's real no direction. Y'all know how this is. And today we're going to be doing my interview with a noob with my good friend Craig here. She's going to be playing the part of the noob. And so if you're interested on finding out all these questions that she has about like gaming and just everything else, or just want to watch us basically goof around for about 40 minutes, stick around. Alright guys, so this is the Game Over Guild and this is going to be my interview with the noob. I got my good friend here, Craig. Craig, go ahead and tell yourself.
Hello, Noob here. My name is Brianna Craig. Just got into gaming, and I like to know everything what it is to start gaming. So I'm here.
Heck yeah! I mean, that's what we're here for. We're just a big group of gamers joining a guild.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be laughing the whole time. We're gonna get like no takes. Just tell us a little about yourself. Like, when did you start gaming? What console did you start on? And just stuff like that.
So I just started gaming about a little bit at the end of last year. PS4, just got into it, so it's pretty fun so far. Just hard to.
What made you choose the PS4?
Just what everybody was going on there. Everybody was like, "Hey, we have a PS4." I'm like, "All right." So I'm thinking Xbox and PS4 doesn't mix, so I just went with the flow.
Yeah, most of the time it doesn't mix. There's a whole big console war stuff going on. We try to stick away from it over here, but it sometimes leaks in.
Yeah, I'm on that trying to figure out the PS5 now. It's like it's just evolving around me. I'm trying to catch up.
No, I understand. I mean, I grew up pretty much catching up all the time late. Like, when everyone else was already on the PlayStation, I was still playing a Nintendo 64. I was getting a Game Boy black and white when everyone else was playing Game Boy Advance. So, like, my family was poor, so, like, it was whatever got tossed at me, I was able to play. I loved it, but I was always a step behind. I mean, we still have VHS tapes until, like, everyone was almost on Blu-rays.
All right, now that's my first question. What? Nintendo 64? There's multiple Nintendos?
Oh, God.
Like, I thought it was one.
I knew you were going to ask me a question right off the bat that I was, like, not prepared for. Yes, so there's multiple Nintendo systems. So, like, Nintendo started out back in the 80s. Well, actually, all right. So Nintendo technically started out a long time ago, where we're talking about home theater consoles.
Okay.
All right. So in the States, Nintendo NES, all right, started out in about the 80s. And basically it introduced the door of being able to play video games at your house.
Okay.
And at the time, there really was nothing else going on. There wasn't a bunch of other consoles coming out. You had Pong, but they were like, these consoles were more of like single-based consoles. Like, they didn't have like more than multiple games. So when the NES came out, it kind of just introduced being able to play, hey, I can take this and I could play a different game. And it was revolutionary. All of a sudden, you didn't have to go and pay all your quarters at the arcade just to continuously play video games. You could just buy a game and play it over and over again at your house. And yeah, it blew up. So that started out with the very first NES, and it evolved way more into the years. Nintendo 64 was kind of coming out during PlayStation and Xbox era, and it was basically just trying to compete with what every other console was doing. Unfortunately, it kind of fell off the bandwagon, mainly just Nintendo wasn't prepared for what PlayStation and Xbox was about to give it. For what Nintendo was, it was basic home console, and what these new consoles were basically doing was becoming computers.
Wow.
Which they definitely struggled keeping up with. I think they're doing really good with the Nintendo Switch nowadays.
Okay.
But they still got some ways to go. That's why Nintendo isn't really rivaled by PlayStation or Xbox. And that's mainly just because Nintendo itself kind of stands on its own.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually have to compete with, hey, I'm an Xbox player or I'm a PlayStation. Or now, because I get a lot of comments on my shit about PC players. All right.
Wow.
We know you're superior.
I hate you.
Shut
PCs.
up.
Hate you.
No, we love you. No, we don't hate you.
No, they get me all the time.
Come at her, not me.
They get me every time.
No, we know you guys run at a faster CPU and all that shit, and I understand. Although I will say PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, they're running extremely fast now. I mean, it's practically a huge computer at your disposal.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it is wild.
All right. I'm about to get up on that now.
Yeah. So did I answer your question about Nintendo?
Yes, yes.
I wasn't really
Way more
prepared for a
than I
Nintendo
want.
question. We're definitely more of a PlayStation channel, but
Yeah.
like I definitely still play my Nintendo Switch. You know, I played Nintendo 64,
Okay.
all the Game Boys. Yeah, Game Boy was like my go-to for a long time because you know, you had Tony Hawk Pro Skater and like all this shit that was like on Game Boy, and I
Okay.
could just play it with my friends. And like Game Boy was like kind of cheap, so like it didn't look like I was poor when I was to my friends. It was like, oh, let's just play Game Boy. But I mean, I grew up just kind of like going to my friend's house, like when we didn't have the console. Like my best friend Cody, growing up, he had an Xbox, and that's how I like fell in love with Halo.
Oh.
I should have became an Xbox player, but
I've
the
heard
problem
that.
is like my dad one day came home from with a PlayStation that fell off the truck. Yeah, with a PlayStation that fell off the truck, and yeah, I was hooked. I was sold. Never. Yeah, I had a good home.
Whoa.
Look, I got a Game Boy Advance because my dad traded like a bike or something for it. I'm not even still
Okay.
sure. All I know is I got one, and I
Okay.
I was a kid, and I wasn't gonna argue with the fact that I had it.
Okay. All right.
So you stuck around with PlayStation 4. So how long have you been playing the PlayStation 4 so far?
Just a couple months since last. Well, correction. I had the PS4 since 2000. I want to say 16.
Wow.
But started gaming. Yes, I know that sounds horrible, right?
Please don't tell me you only used it for streaming services.
Yes. Netflix was my friend.
So you
and-
bought like a $400 something Fire Stick.
I mean, I played like maybe the basic Sims, you know, every once in a while. That was kind of like my limit. It came with the what's that Uncharted?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came. It was like a bundle deal. I was like, ooh, okay, and
Oh,
so
you
I
got
bought
that?
it.
Uncharted is a good game.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
You've never played?
Yes, I don't know. I was like,
Hold
I
on,
didn't
if
think-
it's still a bundle deal, then you have the game.
I have the whole Uncharted.
Oh my
4
god,
and
you
everything.
have to play Uncharted 4. That's like one of my all-time. So Uncharted is basically a cooler version of Indiana Jones. And I know people are going to hate on me for that, but I do. They're actually making a movie of it right now. Tom Holland's going to play Nathan Drake, a younger version,
Wow.
which was a weird,
Okay.
because I wanted Nathan Fillion to play it. I know you probably don't know who that is, but he's a character that like absolutely like fits the role, and actually he wanted to play it. But
Okay.
nowadays, you know, movies are kind of going with let's start with a really young actor, because like they did Ben Affleck, right, for Batman.
Yeah.
Problem is he's so old that like he can't really continue on the role. That's why we're getting Robert Pattinson and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're making a movie and he's gonna be playing in it. But the game is actually really fun. So imagine you know, you got like that history exploration type shit, but then you also got like a whole bunch of action, like
Okay.
killing and like puzzles. It's the guy's version of Tomb Raider,
Oh, okay.
which is funny
I've heard
because
that.
Tomb Raider is the guy's version of Tomb Raider. Because Tomb Raider started out as, you know, big boobed and
Yeah.
and definitely a ploy to draw guys into playing puzzle games.
Yeah.
So
Big boobs.
although they're kind of away from that now. Now they're more just puzzle adventure style open world. So this one, Uncharted, is something I think you'd like mainly just because it's a straightforward story.
Alright.
It's not open world. You don't gotta like bounce around.
Well, I'll take it out the
Play
flash
it.
now.
Yes, put it in.
Test
Jeez.
that- Hey, don't judge me. I don't know. It was Uncharted.
It's been in the box. You haven't even opened it
No.
since 2016.
No, it's just been in my little collection, like games that I will eventually get to once I.
Which is all of them because you haven't played them.
Yeah, basically.
So the first time I found out that like you were even a gamer is when we were playing Monster Hunter.
Yes, that was like the first. I think online is what everybody we call it. Online game. Yeah, that was very interesting for me. Figured out how to hook it up and everything. Like, yeah. Oh, that was the first time I even got live on the PlayStation. We'll get to that later. Like, but
I do. Yeah, I do remember you asking me some questions about
Like, how
that.
do you get
We are gonna talk about that. But that's how we start. So we work together. We're both in the Navy, and we work together, and that's how we started. We kind of created this. I want to say like around Christmas of last year, we started a whole kind of video game group, which was really cool because I actually didn't know any of y'all that well, and then all of a sudden y'all were like, "Let's play," and yeah, I mean the crew's been going good. I mean it's kind of scattered now because we
Yeah.
got new games. trying to get you on Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance.
I'm at Call of Duty life right now.
I know. I'm gonna get you on Dungeons and Dragons. We just gotta wait until they fix the bug to allow PS4 to play.
Okay.
So that way we can all play. Because I'm not gonna make you get it if it's just you.
Yeah. Okay.
I would feel extremely bad if it was just you.
Oh yeah, you know I'll like die multiple times.
Oh yeah, no, I died multiple times. The game's not designed really. You can play it by yourself, but the game's not really designed to be by yourself.
Okay.
Like you're meant to play as a crew, which is actually really fun. Me and Eric. That's the reason we started so late today, is because me and Eric literally played till like 2 a.m.
Oh.
And I didn't notice, and I was playing, and I was getting really tired and irritated. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I look over, it's like 2 a.m. He's like, yeah, that's not that late. I'm like, dude, you're on nights. Like it's late for me. All right.
That's funny. No.
Yeah. All right. So out of like all the games that you play, which is very, very few.
Yes.
What is your favorite out of them so far?
I mean, so far I like the Call of Duty. I like the shooter, games. I didn't know it was live until, obviously.
So what do you mean by live? Like, what do you think live is?
Yeah, like online, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't know there was a difference. Like I didn't even know that was like I was like it was intimidating me because I always thought like I'm gonna have like some kid, like destroying me left and right because obviously people that go online is like experience and I didn't want to like get on there and I die, which it was.
I do think that's kind of a reason I don't play Call of Duty anymore. I used to be really good at it, and I used to work really hard not to have to pay for anything that I was doing. So I would do all the side things and like all the little kill like 3 guys with a knife stab so that way you can earn this weapon like 15 times. I would do all that, but like the problem is like I got out of Call of Duty when Modern Warfare came into play because there were so many updates that every time I would get on, I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm going to play. I'm going to hop on for a quick session. Because that's what Call of Duty is. It's a quick session game. Like you hop on, you can just play. And every single time there would be like a, another 15 gigabyte fucking download that would take like 2 hours. Because this is back on the PS4. So the PlayStation 5 runs at dramatically better download speeds. Okay. But PS4, like, it takes fucking forever. So I get on there and I'll be like, I don't want to fucking wait for this. So by the time it finished downloading, I was already like out of not wanting to play it.
Yeah.
So that's literally, and then I would step away, especially with our job, like for a while from it, get back into it, and then get nuked by everyone. Because every time they updated, it would go back to 50, and I'd have to work my way back up. So that's why, I know you guys are playing the new Call of Duty, but at the same time, I'm like, I just don't trust it anymore.
I just want to get a pristine level, man. I'm still not. Everybody else in the group is already over like pristine. I didn't even know what pristine was.
What precisely are you playing in Call of Duty?
What weapon?
No, like what like are you playing team deathmatch? Are you playing like what are you playing?
So far we play zombies, apocalypse and everything. Now they have this new season 4 out, so we're getting adjusted to that. So I haven't really fully played the season 4 layout, but so far we play team deathmatch. And
that's a good one to build up
stuff. Prop hunt. I am awesome at prop hunt. I can hide. I'm like a, I won't move.
I have seen videos of that hide and go seek stuff. Yeah, and I do like that. Looks interesting. One of the things that I have a problem also with Call of Duty is just like everyone's doing battle royales, and it's so annoying. Like that. So that started with like PUBG and like Fortnite, which is I don't hate on Fortnite. It's just not a game for me. But like Fortnite itself, my problem with games like that is you jump in, you got your information, you got like nothing, no weapons, no anything. You got to go find it all. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that people that run that map like 1,000 times go and find all the weapons. And that's the same case in any battle royale that I do.
They know every hiding point, and I'm just like, as soon as I we spawn, boom, I'm done. And I'm like, well, give a noob a chance.
And that's the thing is when you die, you have to restart a whole new match. It's not in the same thing. So that's what aggravates me about those games. Yeah. Is because I never claim to be the best gamer in the world. I'm an above average gamer.
I just want to know the basics so I don't be with my friends and everybody. They gotta teach me. And you know how many times they revived me one time in zombies? I think it was 27 times a revive. It was so bad. I was like, oh my god.
I used to play zombies all the time. So when Black Ops 2 came out and my buddy had one at his house, we'd go over, and this is how I got my introduction to the PlayStation 3, because obviously I still had a PS2 at this time because I'm always way behind. So he had a PlayStation 3 and I used it for almost everything, and we'd be over at his house playing Black Ops Zombies 2 all the fucking time. and we run it for like ever. I got so good at zombies, like ridiculously good at it. And then, you know, the next one came out and it was like shit. So I was like, I'm gonna walk away. But I have a fondness of Call of Duty. I just feel like it's gotten away from what it is. It used to actually have a pretty good story and stuff to it, and now
that's what I heard.
People only care about nowadays is like that quick access game. You know, being able to jump in, play it. You know, I think story modes in general are starting to creep away, which is a big problem for me. I miss story modes.
Yeah, I gotta find some more games out there. Which is why
we're gonna get you into more games for sure.
Try to figure out how.
Oh, I have played countless games, not only for this channel, but just for my own enjoyment. I have played almost anything that you can think of. I have not liked everything that you can think of, but I have definitely played almost any game. I've even played Animal Crossing, and I hate that game. But no, yeah, go ahead, vape. I vape on this channel all the time. What was I talking about? I was talking about
gamer.
So gamers, like, so a lot of people like think like gamer means you have to be like good at everything and all this shit. Like you have to like a certain game to be considered a gamer, but that's 100% not true. It's like whatever game that if you play a video game like religiously, you're a gamer. 100%. It doesn't matter what that game is. If you play a game religiously, you're a gamer. So
okay, because I always got like intimidated by the concept of saying when everybody asks me like, or like, you know, when you meet new people, hey, do you game? I'm like, do I say yes or do I say no? Because I don't know everything about the controller. I don't know how to even purchase games. It took me a minute. I had to ask one of my friends, like, how do you purchase this game? How do you set up your card on the account? Like, how do you even get on the live? Which like subscription should I go for? Like, all that stuff. So I felt like a little bit intimidated by that fact of calling myself a gamer when I don't even, you know.
I think the name gamer in itself has gotten a little too prestige. I think what people associate it now, especially since it's getting more mainstream, you know, you got video game competitions that are like, there's always been video game competitions, like even back in the 80s, there were just wasn't popular.
Yeah.
All right, these were nerds, and yes, I'm still a nerd to this day. But now nerds are cool, they're in. So it's a weird concept. But video game competitions have been around for years. It just was never at this magnitude of people watching, of people paying a ridiculous amount. And I think the YouTube guy, like he's like a 16-year-old kid, and he played the Fortnite championship, right? Won $3 million. And like people are like freaking out. And it's like, people pay to watch that, and that's why they're getting paid so much. You know what I mean? But that's not a new concept. It's always been around. Yeah. It's just now we're getting to this point where it's like definitely more mainstream. So gamer is just a tag for anyone that plays a game, whatever game that is, and you play it a lot. That is what it means. It doesn't mean, I'm like an expert at all these different games. It doesn't mean that I'm like playing 1,000 different things that I have to be good at everything, because that's 100% not true.
I'm a gamer.
It's whatever. Yeah, you are. You're a gamer, and you're a noob gamer. But you're still a gamer.
Oh, I'm gonna buy a gamer t-shirt.
Yeah. I like I'm obsessed with t-shirts. I am. I have like way too many. Every time I'm at the store, I buy like 1,000. All right, so you have some questions, and that's like the main thing we're doing today is we're answering a bunch of these newbie questions that she has, and I am gonna do my best ability to answer them. If not, I have, you know, my laptop here that's going to be able to like Google it. Hopefully I looked at all of them, and I'm pretty much prepared for almost anything unless you ask like some random ass shit, which I may still be able to answer. So
pretty random. All right,
let's go for this.
So this first question, I was playing with my friends on Call of Duty, and I couldn't figure out how to, like, it was like this turret or some kind of machine gun or whatever it is, like press the D-pad, and I was like, okay. Yeah. What is a D-pad?
So I got a visual aid. What?
Yes.
Look, I went all out. I grabbed my old ass PS4 controller. It's weird to say old, considering that 90% of people don't have PS5s. Rest in peace. Hope you get one. All right. So D-pad, right, is this.
Wow.
This whole area. So what D-pad stands for is directional pad. So these are directional buttons.
Wow. Okay.
So.
Bet.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google that to make sure I was right.
Okay.
I mean, I knew it, but I was like, this sounds stupid. So like I wanted to make sure I was correct, because I was like, that's too easy of an answer. But yeah, no, that's literally what it's called. And so like it's the directional, right?
Oh,
And so I know another one of your questions was what is D3? And
Yeah.
so that's literally this button, right? And so you would click down and that would be D3.
What? Okay.
And usually that's used for like different games have different like whatever you would use it for. Most of the time it's like used for a lock on or maybe like a sprint
Okay.
or something. It kind of depends on what game you're playing. But yeah, that's directional pad right there.
Okay. So, okay, directional pad. I already know.
Yeah.
Triangle, square, X, circle. What does the share button do?
Okay, I want.
I don't
so
ever touch it.
so
because
here's
I'm
the thing.
scared.
Here's the thing. I was just gonna straight out answer this, but I kind of want to hear your guess on what you think the share. Let me say this again. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna say this really, really clear. What do you think the share button does?
I'm a newbie. All right. I believe share button is share your screen or share like share.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're sharing like a screenshot or like because I saw those screenshots. I actually pushed the button while I was trying to sprint away from somebody trying to shoot at me, and then I clicked it and it was like screenshot. I was like, oh god, no. So I was like,
yeah, that's exactly what it is. So basically, if you click it once, it takes the screenshot. If you hold it down, it will also like screen record. And so also some games that have like in-house camera and filter, you can press it and move around it, kind of like so. Demon Souls, if you press it, it will bring up everything that you can like adjust on the camera and stuff like that. So basically, it's a way that you can basically show everyone what you're doing. And you can take cool ass little photos of like the game or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much the share button. It shares what you do.
I was like, share what though? That's
I
what
know,
I'm
like I was like, I want to
I'm
hear your
pressing it,
answer on it because I was like, I don't know how.
I'm sharing this out.
I don't know how to answer that without sounding like a dumbass.
No,
Like
okay.
it's a share button.
All right.
I'll leave this up here just in case you have another question about it.
All right. So we got to that D-pad.
Yes.
Directional pad.
D-pad,
share
directional pad, guys. Directional.
Direct.
Oh god, directional pad.
That, now that you're saying, that's common sense to me.
Yeah, yeah,
That's,
yeah.
okay.
D-pad.
I really knew that one. Huh?
That's all good.
So what is okay? So on that one, now this is what boggles. What does this pad do? Like what?
Okay.
What is?
So even though they don't like outright say this is also on my PlayStation 5 remote as well. So it's become a standard thing after the PS4. So what this is, and it's actually funny, is because a lot of people actually don't know this, and it's mainly because games are no longer just PlayStation games. So this is not on an Xbox controller.
Okay.
So if it's not on an Xbox controller, whatever function that the PS4 or PS5 controllers do, it's not gonna work in the game. If it's like a double console type shit,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work because game developers have to program this into the game. So that's why this isn't used as much. But what this is simply a touchpad. So it's also a button. You can also press it, but it is like a touchpad. You could literally, if you go to on your PlayStation 4, if you go to like the internet or any type of scroll thing and it pulls up the keyboard, a PlayStation keyboard,
Okay.
like the actual app, you can use this as a cursor or just to straight up write on it.
So you mean I don't have to keep click.
No. You can like legit do this. It's a little unbalanced. It is a lot better on the PS5 now.
Okay.
But it is a you can use it as a cursor, as your finger, or you can just like write on it. Most games nowadays use it because so on the Xbox there's a button here, but it's not the same. So what you use it for in most games nowadays is kind of just a swipe and it will fast forward the time for you, or maybe press it and it'll act as a second share button, or it kind of depends on what the game is. Now, this was supposed to be more revolutionary. There's a couple games where this actually used to like wipe something off, or you were able to like write something in the game. But because only the PlayStation has this, it kind of got written off because you can't really be playing that on Xbox. And if it's a core part of the game, you can't do anything with it.
Okay.
So it became kind of irrelevant. And unfortunately, that's kind of the way it is with PlayStation most of the time. Is even the really advanced PlayStation 5 controller, a lot of the stuff can't be used because it's still an Xbox game that you're playing as well.
Okay.
So like a lot of the haptic feedback and stuff like that, it's not as responsive. because you can't use it on an Xbox. So the developers aren't going to program it in here.
Okay.
But this is also so. This is the DualShock control, right? So you can actually shake this, and in certain games, it will actually move your character and stuff. Now, in the Xbox, the PS5 controller, you can actually blow on it and move your person as well on certain games. Astro's Playhouse is probably the best way to kind of see everything that controller does, but basically, because all these games aren't on only PlayStation, the developers don't program it into it.
Oh.
So you only really ever see anything done with this if it's a PlayStation exclusive.
What? Okay.
Yeah. It's wild. It's actually a really cool technology. I mean, you got to remember, like, this came out like during the height. I don't know. We're kind of getting a lot older, but like the height of the fact of, touch phones and shit.
Yeah.
Like this was brand new. This was awesome, and now it's like barely ever used.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, I guess, like, that camera keeps cutting off for me. I don't know how to like fix it. So I guess we're gonna mainly be doing this one, which I'm okay with because it looks good. So I'm solid with it. Let's just keep rolling. I'll cut this out. Bah! Yeah, I'll cut it out.
I'm so done. All right. So my other question is, so I have a lot of games on my system now. Like I'm evolving, moving up. Got this. What's it? Becoming Human. That one game. I forgot what's the title of it.
Becoming Human.
Is that
Detroit.
Detroit. Ha! Detroit.
I know what game you're talking about. I don't like it, but I know what game you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so I got that, Monster Hunters and Call of Duty, and I'm trying to increase it the more I go. But how do you increase your storage? Because my storage level is kind of going low.
So which PlayStation do you have?
The PS4.
Yeah, but there's a PS4 like Pro. There's an Elite. I'm gonna go with the basic. Let's just
2016.
Yeah. So we're gonna say this is the basic one. So with the PlayStation 4, there is an internal storage that you can put in. You can put in a new hard drive to give you some more terabytes. Because I think internet don't come at me, but I think it's just 1 terabyte on the original, maybe 2 terabytes on the Pro, or maybe reverse. I don't know. I have a Pro, so I've never actually had to worry about it.
Okay.
But you can buy an internal storage, and then you can also buy an external storage, which is a terabyte. And they actually don't work too well on the PlayStation 5, but with the PlayStation 4 you can. So basically, it's basically an extra hard drive like you would for a computer.
Okay.
And it just hooks up USB wise up to the front, and then you can basically hold all your games and stuff in there.
Okay.
Only your games though. Don't mix a bunch of other shit up in there.
Yeah, like Netflix.
Yeah. Well, it's not gonna format right because like it takes a long time. But you can buy those, and they're like $50-$70 for like 3 terabytes.
Okay.
And that's a lot of storage.
Okay. Getting one of those.
So that's how you get more. Like, because I'm gonna do that once they. So the processor in the PS5 is too advanced right now to have an internal storage, an extra one. But once they get that upgraded and stuff, and everyone is on the same page, I'm gonna buy one for it because I only have like 600 gigabytes of storage on mine.
Okay. So like the internal storage, you just gotta go like inside and just purchase extra storage space.
No, so you'll have to take it apart, which I don't suggest.
Yeah.
I suggest you bring it to me.
I won't be able to put it back together.
And I'll do it. But yeah, no, you would basically take it apart, and it has this little slot. It's actually really easy once you take off the faceplate, and you just put it in there, and you screw it in, and bam, you have extra storage.
Wow.
The external storage for you probably be better.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier. It runs a little slower online, but overall it's okay.
Yeah, especially if I increase to the PS5 once they start, going
no.
back at it. Yeah, I took it from.
Yeah, because all your data is transferable from the PS4 to the PS5, but because data is like very limited on the PS5, you don't want to bring it all.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna fill that shit up immensely. Like I've deleted a lot of, not deleted, but I've sent it all to the cloud, so that way it's not up there.
Yeah.
Which I'll get into more because I know that question's coming up.
The cloud, yeah. How do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're gonna ask about like being online and shit, and that's something I'll go into around then.
Doesn't matter what type of headphones you use. I know like wireless and.
Headphones.
Like,
all right, so
I was using these little $12 ones, so you just.
I won.
I know.
Okay, so I want you to define what you mean by doesn't matter, because doesn't matter Technically, in a sense of can you play with any type of headphones? Yes. But like, what do you mean by doesn't matter?
Because I know like when you guys be talking to me about headphones, you guys like talking about how like this one has better like soundproof, or this one has better like the mic is low, you can like adjust it however you want. So it's like the headphones like.
So this really like starts to come down to the fact of just preference, honestly.
Okay.
So we do a lot of online stuff all together. So it is a better interest to upgrade, which is why I give you those A10s.
Yes.
Because, you know, even like for what I do is I do a lot of online streaming and stuff like that. So having a better sounding headphones and mic and all that is a lot better for me. But when you're just playing online with your friends, A10s, Astro 10s will do absolutely amazing feats. The mic is good and it's just going to work. Unfortunately, for anything else you want to do, that mic is really only good for online play, like talking in a group chat. But if I was going to do, like, say, this interview and we were using those, it would sound absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Okay.
Like, we would hear, like, static, we would hear echo. Like, it would be absolutely terrible. Okay. Which is why we're definitely not doing that. That's why we're using the HyperX Quadcast. Not sponsored, sorry. But it is my favorite microphone right now. But, yeah, so the mic itself is probably the most important part when you're playing online. When you're just playing by yourself and you just want to hear it, you can kind of use whatever type of headphones you want. And this goes into like your sound quality as well. Like if you're someone that likes a lot of bass, then you can get headphones that kind of like lean towards the bass. So I have 840s and they hook up to a mixer amp. Mm-hmm. They're also noise canceling. So I can control everything from that little knob thing over there. Wow. So when you guys are talking, I can turn up the volume on the game, but turn you guys down all with like within my hand. You can do that on the PlayStation, but you'll have to go into a bunch of different settings. I can do it all from right there. Wow. Which is why I like it, because if I'm like streaming while we're playing online too, I can kind of mute you guys for a second so I can talk and then turn it back on without you guys ever knowing.
Wow.
So it's like a really easy, smooth process. But that's why I like those. But there's also like way more expensive. Like that headphone set, like with the mix amp, is like $270.
Wow.
I paid like $140. I'm not crazy, but it is worth like $170, I think, still. Those A10s I gave you were like $60, I think. There's other ones that are better. And so when you start advancing into like what you actually want to hear, because like eventually you're going to want to, just because you want to enhance the quality that you're playing at. And so different headphones will give you better sound for when you're listening to your friends talk. There's echo reduction on it. So that way you don't hear like, so you know how sometimes while talking and you hear yourself echo?
Yeah. That's
because it's hearing what's going on right here, the mic, but it's also hearing your headphones. Oh, so the sound of the game is coming through here and here. So it's dual miking, and that's becoming an echo.
Oh, okay.
So that's why that happens. That's why like you have to adjust it all within the scenes, which is why I like the 840s, because I can just do it right there. But that's what that does. And then the more expensive headphones you get will basically noise cancel all that out, reduce echoing, reduce all that. So that's pretty much the only difference, is like the more advanced you get, the better sound quality, the better mic echo you can control, being able to talk. You won't hear like, you know, it will come out more clear, more crisp.
Yeah, my cats won't be yelling at me.
That's true. You can cancel it out. Like a lot of more high-tech. And you don't even have to spend a lot anymore, actually. Like most of these headphones are getting to the point where they're like $60 to $100. Yeah. Of course, you can always go way above, but like $60 to $100 will get you a pretty good mic that will pretty much like basically, I don't know if you remember when we used to play Monster Hunter, you'd sometimes hear my fan.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it stopped doing that when I got the 840s because it was canceling out all outside sound.
Okay.
But if we were using like regular mics, you would hear that fan in it. And all you would hear was like a wind tone. Okay. So that's basically it. Like you can just get more advanced as you go. Yeah. It's not a necessity. It's more of just a quality to life and how you want to play. Because most people, like when you're playing by yourself, you're playing with like speakers or something like that. Okay. So it's really all about preference, and doesn't truly matter in the sense of will it improve gameplay? Probably not until you get to the point where you're like really going hardcore. Because one of the settings on my A40s is that I can hear footsteps in a game a lot clearer. So while you're not going to hear them coming up behind us if we're playing Call of Duty, I will. So I can move us before they get there.
Wow. Okay.
So like I said, it's all about preference. It's all about what you're trying to get out of it. Okay. But in the hindsight, does it matter? Not really.
Okay. Cool. I'll stick to mine.
Yeah, no, A10s are really good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
so
those are
far
working
they're
for
cool.
you.
Yeah. So far they're cool. Nobody says they hear my cats anymore, so it's been a win-win.
No, those definitely do have mic
Carrots.
canceling, so you won't hear any echo or anything in there.
Okay.
So they're nice. I like them.
Yeah.
I would have kept with those, but I needed the A40s.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably upgrade to those eventually down the line.
They're worth it once you get to that point. So you can actually with the A40s you can customize all that, and you can remove the mic. You can put in new mics. I have it open back right now, but normally I have like this little thing that goes over it, and it makes it 100% noise canceling, so I can't hear anyone around me. I love them. I absolutely do. Not sponsored. I just love them. So what's next? What else you got?
My next one is what is PS Plus? All right, so I know I was going through my
I was about to say, I'm about to ask like what
it's a story.
What's going on with this?
I was going through the my station and I saw that there was like a PS Store and a PS Plus on and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to find some new games here. I'm like, which one do I go to? Like, why is there two different? Like, is there a difference or is it like is that like where the highlighted the more popular games?
So you're asking the difference
or...
between PS Plus and
store.
PS Now or the PS Store?
Yeah, like all three of them.
All right,
Like,
I'm just gonna cover this
like,
all because it all goes into one thing.
concept behind
So all right, so first we got PS Now, PS Plus, right? So PS Plus is the paid online service to be online.
Oh,
That's what you're paying for.
Okay.
You pay like $50 a year. You can do it like monthly, but why would you? Just pay $50 a year. $50 a year to play all these games online, which is something you kind of got to do nowadays. Unfortunately, I don't fully support it just because I don't think you should have to pay just to play online. But unfortunately, everything's kind of leaning towards that.
Yeah.
So you get PS Plus and you're able to play online and you'll be able to do all this stuff. But also you have PS Plus exclusives every month.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give you like free games. I'm pretty sure that's how you got Detroit and all that. Or did you pay for Detroit? Oh Lord.
I wasn't supposed to pay.
That was free. That was definitely free.
That was free?
You could have not have paid that.
What the hell? I paid like $20-something.
No, you definitely could have got that for free. So every month there's going to be like free titles that you can just download and you don't have to pay for. And usually they're okay. Yeah. And then sometimes they're really good titles. Like you could have got so when you upgrade to the PlayStation 5, there's going to be a PS collection. Mm-hmm. And it's like 50 games you can just have for free.
Wow.
And so whenever that stuff pops up, so this is great advice. From now on, every time that you see that there's new games on the PS Plus, go to it, put it in your library. So if it's not in your library, it won't be saved. But if it's in your library, you can have it. You don't have to play it, but it will be there.
Wow, just download it into the library?
Yeah, just download it into the library. You do not have to like play it right then and there. It will just be in there so that way for all time you have that game. Like I still have that game for free because it's in my library. I don't play it, but it's in there.
That's crazy. So
that's like the benefits of PS Plus. It gets you online. You can have free games every month. They're usually pretty good. Sometimes they'll give you deals on other games, which I'm sure you've noticed stuff being like cut in half. And it says like PlayStation Plus exclusive or something like that. You can pay half the price. That's what that is. The store itself is just an online PlayStation store to be able to get into the store. Okay. Basically. You know what? Honestly, I'm about to turn this on so I can show you. But while I'm waiting for that to boot up, the PlayStation Store is just where you buy all the games from. Mm-hmm. And you can just buy anything that's up there. You can go and browse through the whole store, whatever it is. Okay. That's what the PlayStation Store is. The PlayStation Plus is how you get online and your membership to PlayStation. Okay. That's what that is. Okay. See how I got like a little tiny thing on it? The little plus symbol?
Yeah, I have the plus. Ew.
Oh yeah, this is the PlayStation 5. My bad. Let me show you. This is so a lot of new updates for when you go to it. There's a whole media section instead of like being combined. So here's games, PlayStation Store, which is right there. Okay. All right. So when you get it, so this is PlayStation Plus, right? So these would be your exclusives. I know you guys can't see on here, but you guys know what a PlayStation Plus is. So this is the PlayStation Plus collection. So you'll have access to a whole mess load of games. I'm not going to show you all of them, but all up in here. And then so down here is included with PS Plus Now. These are the monthly games for right now that I can just go ahead and like download for free.
Okay.
And then over here is like deals, stuff like that. That's what all this is.
Okay.
And then over here is the store. Now on the PlayStation 5, it's a little more weird than PS4. You can kind of like see a lot more stuff. In here, you kind of have to like search for it. So it's a little harder to see. But yeah, this is where you would get all your stores and stuff.
Okay.
Now, leading into your PlayStation Now question that I know is going to get tied into this. PlayStation Now, and this is the confusing part. So, PlayStation Now is Netflix for games.
Ah.
So basically what you do is you pay probably about $10 a month, or you can pay yearly, and you got access to a wide variety of PlayStation games.
Okay.
That you can just play for free. You can just download and play them. So,
wow. Okay. So
it
on top.
was not worth it for me just because there wasn't enough variety in the games. Xbox does the same thing with Game Pass, and I heard theirs is actually a little bit better just because, I don't know, it just has like better stuff, I guess. Like it just has more of an access. You can also play on different platforms. You don't have to just be on your Xbox. You can play like on a Microsoft computer or something like that.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much what PlayStation Now is.
Okay.
It's just Netflix for games in the most simplest way. Is it worth playing? Maybe if you haven't played a lot of games.
Okay.
I would say for you probably. Yeah, you could do probably like a month trial and try it out. My thing is like it takes me sometimes longer than a month to play a game.
Yeah.
So I'm paying $10 a month for all these games, and I'm only playing like one of them.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't worth it. But if you want to like dive into like all these games you might have missed, there is like a huge library of games for you to get into. So PS Now is Netflix for gaming. PS Plus is your online service, so you can be able to get on and get exclusives. And the PlayStation Store is where you buy the games.
Okay. Wow, I've been missing out this whole entire time.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I think at this point in age we don't explain shit like this.
Yeah, it didn't come with the like instructions.
No one talks about this. This is why we're doing this this interview, because I know there's some people out there that are like, God, I wish I kind of knew that, or maybe you did and you're just having a fun laughing at us. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm a noob. I still have noob status.
It's okay. We're gonna slowly fix that. What were you saying?
So speaking of a noob question,
yeah,
I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but you know what, noob status. What is the point of trophies? So I was playing Call of Duty, and
isn't such a loaded question?
Yeah, like
this is a really loaded question. I'll explain in a second, but I'll let you continue.
Trophies for a headshot or something like that in Call of Duty, and then I went up there and I looked in when you push start on the PlayStation, it has like a trophy setting where you can go in there and see how many trophies you have. I have like maybe 5. I don't know.
You probably have a lot more than that.
Yeah, but I asked my friends, they're like, yeah, I have like 70-some trophies. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what's the point? Is like, does that like increase? Does that like, when you get to a certain point of trophies, you get like, I don't know, status or something? I don't know. Like, I'm like, do I need to start like looking up how to get trophies for what, or what's the trophies? Like,
oh God, it's such a loaded question. There's so much to go into. So technically, I'll answer you first. Like, what is the point of it?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
They mean absolutely jack shit. What they were, so back in the day, right? There you just beat a game, right? And that's how you knew you were good at a game, right? You just beat the game and you were done. And so eventually, what they started doing was for people that were going off on these little side missions and stuff. Like little things, like they were maybe like, you know, smashing a bunch of like, you know, crates and stuff. I'm being totally random because like I don't want to go into like crazy detail on it, but like basically like they were doing side things, and you know they started getting like oh hey, you collected 5 berries, so here's a trophy. And so it started out really small like that. It was like, you know, a little trophy for a little thing like that. But the thing is what happened was people love that.
No.
People love knowing that they did something right. Or, hey, I didn't just beat the game. I completed it. I did everything. I got every trophy. So because of that, and because of like that was an appeal, and it's actually a group of gamers called completionists that do that, where they beat the entire game, they get every trophy, everything going on, and that's how they feel satisfied and be in the game. And because of that, game developers and all that started implementing the trophy system for all these different things to give people an extra challenge. So now, yeah, I can beat the game, but now I can go back and be like, hey, I got to get like 5, tablets from a certain situation, or I got to get 6 headshots in a certain amount of time. That will give me this trophy. Okay, now I got to look up what's the next trophy that I can do. Okay. And that's how it started, and what it's become is pretty much a way to track your progress.
Okay.
And in fact, I'll pull this up because I actually can show you real quick. So we'll go over here, right? So we'll go to my trophies, right? So I got 57% complete on the game so far, right? Mm-hmm. And then these are the trophies for, say, a boss or like something that I have to defeat.
Okay.
And these are the trophies that I would already unlocked. I already got. So I got the bronze and all this stuff. Or I used a certain amount of reusables in a second. So I was able to get that trophy. And like that's pretty much what it is. But what it's become is a way of basically saying how much you've completed the game. So right now I'm actually farther than 57% in this game. But trophy-wise, I'm 57%.
Wow. Okay.
So like that is kind of what it's become, and it's kind of become like its own little thing of like basically saying, hey, you're not done with the game because you haven't gotten all these trophies, so you need to go back and like get all this. And then you get like a bigger, basically the only thing you get at the end of this is 1, bragging rights saying you've done it all.
Okay.
2, on the trophy that says I got all trophies.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what it is. And it started out really small, and people loved it. So now all games are pretty much deemed by the fact that there are trophies.
Okay.
Some people really like getting them. Some people don't. Is there really a point to it? No, not whatsoever.
Like categorized as bronze, silver, and like gold or
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's no like actual. You can beat the game 100% without getting a single. Not without getting a single trophy, because nowadays, like even beating a boss gets you a trophy. But you can beat the game, complete it out without getting every single trophy.
Okay. So
basically, trophies are literally just a way to be like, good job.
Right.
Here's a little something extra for your hard work.
Yeah, I did
that's what trophies are.
5 trophies. Like I saw like 5.
People get into them. I mean, I like getting them too. I think it's really cool. But I think at this point, it's kind of gotten redundant because you get a trophy for like fucking everything. Mm. Like, oh man, you jumped twice in a row. Good job. Here's a trophy. Oh, that's cool. Why do I have this trophy? What is the point of this?
Yeah, I was playing some random, like I was really losing the game Call of Duty, but I got a trophy, so okay, cool.
So you felt satisfied, right?
Yeah,
you got a trophy.
Satisfied. I was
That's
like, okay.
literally the reason behind it.
Yeah, trophy, bronze. Suck it. I'm like...
That's a good question because like a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. All right. So trophies, cool. Don't need it, but I want it. All right. How can you tell when a friend is online though? So I was trying to sneak and play.
Man, we're going straight for those noob questions. Straight for them.
So I was playing Sims. I'm not gonna lie. I was build a mansion house. Found cheat codes, by the way. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, one of my friends like you can like just stay in this lot.
We're gonna talk about cheat codes in a minute.
Cheat codes are awesome so far. I didn't even know it was like a
They
thing.
barely exist anymore.
Yeah. And so I was trying to lie and say I wasn't online, but she said I am. And I'm playing Sims. She got me. I'm like, how do you know? And so how do I know when somebody's
So this is going to be a little different of a visual for you just because PlayStation 5 has a way different interset. But you can look this up on the PS4. So down here, right, I can go over here. And so on the PlayStation 4, it's going to be at the top. And you can find this. And then I can go over here and see all my friends that are online.
Wow. Okay.
So like that's pretty much how you can find out. That started happening. You can only see like friends that are up there. You can also control if they see you online.
Okay.
So I can actually turn that off, right? I can go over here and put online status to off. You can do all this on the PlayStation 4, but on the PlayStation 5 it's all down here, so it's easy access. Wow. So yeah, see, so I got 134 trophies. Going back to that trophy question. Being able to look over that. This is just on this game though. So different games. But yeah, that's how you can check. And so you can actually set it where you can have it where in the settings it will notify you if your friends are online.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like you'll have to go into the PS4 to do it, but yeah, you can set it so that way it notifies you, and then so your notification button is also on the PS5, but it's gonna PS4, but it's gonna be on the top,
Okay.
but it will be over here, and then yeah, see, so Daisy, all these people added to a party. It will let me know if someone's online or something like that.
Yeah, totally gonna stalk them now. All right.
Well, so I will say this: PS4 is definitely more friendly in the sense of it lets you know.
Yeah.
So once you set it for it, it will pop up in notifications without you even needing it. For me, all this shit has to pop up down here. So I a lot of the times I miss out on whether or not someone's online.
Oh, okay.
But that's just because that's the way I have it set up. But yeah, you can set it so that way you can see if someone's online, and I can see what game they're playing. Like, so you can go to that, and then none of the guys are playing a game, but if they were, it would say it next to it.
Okay.
It'd be like, hey, this is playing Dark Alliance or something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's how you see if someone's online. Then you can
got me.
join a party or, start an online game if you want on them, or invite them over to your game, whatever you want to do.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all about joining the community.
I like it. Now I gotta turn that off so they don't know I'm saying Sims.
Yeah, do it before you get on the game though, because otherwise they're gonna know you're offline on Sims. Yeah. So like when you go offline, it's gonna say whatever game you were on last.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, PlayStation trying to get me. Trying to snitch on me. All right. The
ultimate snitch.
My other question is just for a lot of people, like when say the season 4 for Call of Duty was out, I didn't get to upgrade it because I did not have my PlayStation on rest mode when I was at work. Mm-hmm. So we're leaving your PlayStation on rest mode like multiple times, or all the time. Will it damage your system, or? I feel
that's a truly tricky question to ask. Just because it's a yes and a no. So for short periods of time, no. But when the PlayStation, especially on PS5, I do not suggest, let me say that for everyone that gets a PlayStation 5, I do not suggest putting it on rest mode. So the PlayStation 5 has had a lot of bugs lately where if you leave it on rest mode, it will fuck a lot of things up. Mm-hmm. So I don't suggest that on PS5. But for PS4, basically what happens is, right, so if you're going on rest mode, it's still running. Your console's still running, your stuff is doing it. And what rest mode is for downloads or for charging your controller or anything in that sense. And if you leave it on all the time, imagine like you turned an app on your phone, right? And it's like a movie that's playing, but you turned it down super low and you put it in the background. It's still using your data. Okay. It's still using the battery. So it can actually wear out the hardware in there after long periods of time. Now, if you left it on, like say you're going to work and you just leave it on for like the day, no big deal.
Okay.
No big deal. But if you left it on like 24/7, yeah, it would definitely start to wear down your hardware and it will start to break down over time.
Okay.
Which over time is very shortly. So yeah, I would say like if you left it on for 2 weeks straight in rest mode, your PlayStation 5 or 4 would be effed up.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. So it's a yes and no. So yes, it was designed to do stuff, but it wasn't designed to keep running forever. So it's not a good thing to keep it on there all the time. You can keep it on there for downloads or charging or something super quick. Nothing that's going to be like 3-4 days. That would be absolutely insane.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully that helped.
Yeah.
Hopefully all y'all know not to put your PlayStation 5 on rest mode. Please don't.
That would be a rookie move.
It would. It would be a noob move.
So yeah, we already talked about the PS Plus now in store, which is awesome.
Yes.
But
we have been educated.
I've been thoroughly educated. Thank you very much. I am about to go in now as soon as we leave here.
It's cool. We're still gonna get a lot of hate comments and be like, "Nah, you can do so much more on it." I honestly love bad comments, guys. Please feel free to comment on this and leave some nasty stuff. I love reading it. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I'll respond very positively.
Positive is our motto. But like for when you try to purchase a game, how do you can tell when it's like online only? Because I made that mistake prior because it was only online. So
no, they're
like
visual.
Like There was Elder Scrolls. I'm thinking it was like kind of like the same as Skyrim or something like that. You know, like
I mean, it is.
but
So
it's
Elder
like
Scrolls
online
is a DLC
Yeah.
for Skyrim. So DLCs are downloadable content for a game.
Okay.
It's basically an expansion for a game, or maybe a custom like outfit or something that you bought. It only exists in the game, so you download it, downloadable content. But basically, it's how they basically make a game last longer. Like Elder Scrolls is famous for that. Skyrim is very famous for that. They keep putting out DLCs for it to make the game bigger.
Okay.
And basically, what it means is you're buying a game from like 2013.
Okay.
Right, but it's had so many expansions and updates that it's just becoming more and more of the same game. But you're still literally playing the game from 2013.
Wow. Okay.
But it's just got more downloadable content.
You don't need to have the Skyrim game from 2013. You just buy the new.
Yeah, it's the same game.
Same thing.
Same game. It would just be more in it.
Okay.
I should get a game that I don't have, so that way it doesn't try to mess me up. All right, so God dang, pre-order for that's the Ultimate Edition, Battlefield. I saw 119 guys, and I got scared for a second for everyone.
My bank account is set
Jesus.
up right now. I'm buying games that I don't even need to buy.
Yeah, I'm famous for that, but like I love spending games on. I love spending a ridiculous amounts of money on not only figures but games in itself. So for everyone, to answer your question on how you can tell, so if you go to where you're buying the game, right, and you go down and you go to game and legal info, you'll see the description of the game, what it comes with, all that stuff that they have to tell you. But if you move over, you're going to see the publisher, release date, edition, platform, genre, which is first-person shooter. Okay. And then you'll go down here, and it will tell you what it needs. So this comes back into the PlayStation Plus stuff, where I said, like, it requires you to play online. So over here, it actually tells you PS Plus required for online play, supports up to 99 online players with PS Plus, in-game purchase, and then look down at the bottom where it says online play required.
Wow, okay.
So that basically means you're going to need to play online to play this game.
Okay.
And if it basically says, oh, I don't need to have that, then it will... But basically, it will say online or offline on it, and then you can basically make that judgment. And then if it says offline, then it's probably a single-player mode. You can probably like play by yourself or something like that. Or if it's like in-house, it will also say like co-op, in-house co-op. You can play 1 to 2 players. Okay. It will tell you all that stuff in that little bio thing. So anytime you're about to buy a game, definitely look at that, because there are a lot of games nowadays that are straight up only online.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
What else you got for me?
Oh, okay. So for my final question, I have probably not final. To be honest, I have
we're doing good. We can keep rolling.
Texting you every once in a while, like, what is this? Why is this here?
It's what I'm here for.
But add-ons. So I think like the expansion packs is an add-on.
Yeah.
Like,
so this kind of goes back into my DLC stuff. So add-ons are pretty much that. So when you bought Monster Hunter, right, you had to buy Iceborne with it. That was an add-on. That was an exclusive expansion pack. So add-ons are anything that are extra that didn't come with the game that you have to pay or maybe are free. Say like some skins or some new weapons, or in that case, a whole new game that's attached to it. And a lot of games pretty much always have add-ons. Yeah. Everything has a freaking add-on.
So Call of Duty would probably have some add-ons.
Call of Duty has a ridiculous amount of add-ons. So all the weapons you're trying to get, you can actually buy.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go to the store and buy all those weapons.
Wow, okay.
Kind of defeats the purpose. But honestly, when you're getting in there, and I'm not saying this is for all of the people, because some people work hard for this shit, but most of the time, if you see someone with a crazy outlandish weapon, and you go and look at the requirements, and it says it has to do all this shit, it's like, oh my god, how do you even do that? He bought it. He bought it.
Like that one guy,
or they bought it. I'm not going to assume it's a guy. It's they bought it. Then, so... Yeah, so then all of a sudden they have this brand new 8K that like outruns yours, and it's because they bought it. And hey, if you wanna put your own money into these games and like do extra on it, like you want to pay like $50 real money to buy a rifle that is fake, by all means go for it. If that's what your heart contents of, feel free. I know I've done it once. I paid $2 for a katana in Modern Warfare. I'm not proud of this moment, but I did buy a katana. and I nuked the hell out of a lot of people, and I loved it, and it was awesome. Will I do it again? Probably freaking not. But I do it for like other things if I like want this really cool skin that I know I can't have because it's really cool, or like a lot of like Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. You can buy like extra characters. Those become like kind of worth it because they're usually like $3 or $4, but playing with them can mean a difference. Like if you're in like a competition or if you're just with your friends, you want to pull out like Spawn and just beat someone's ass with it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much worth it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I do have the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's one of the games that I opened.
Have you like even played it?
Yeah, I played it like a couple times whenever like somebody's over, but we played it like locally. I didn't know like there was a whole tournament.
Yeah, you can go online. You can play online.
I did not know that until
I have it on Nintendo Switch.
Like after I talked to you guys, I was like, what? This whole time I could be playing online because I don't play it unless I have like somebody else that can be over.
See, I never knew any of this. I just thought you knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And to find out that you know like nothing about anything.
I'm that person in the conversation that was just like, yeah, I know exactly where you're.
No, that's not how stuff happens. You have to answer. You have to ask questions to be able to get the answers. All right, I'm always down to answer questions because I very much lived most of my life ignoring questions that I should have done. I've done everything the hard way. I've learned all this stuff by trial and error and not answering, like questioning anyone. I don't like go out and be like, hey, how do you do this? No, I just either YouTube it or like freaking figure it out on my own the hard way. And I kind of hate that. Like it's annoying, but like if you're hopping into gaming, you should just be able to answer and ask all these questions because man, we're not all of us have been doing this since like we were kids, you know, like you for one, you know, you haven't been doing it that long. So some of these very basic things that we talked about today are, you know, they seem a little easy for someone like me to answer, or like even some people watching this going, oh, I knew that. But for those noobs that are just now getting into gaming, because gaming has gotten dramatically more popular nowadays. Like people are getting into this and they're just like, oh, cool, I can just step up to a thing and play. And it's not really that case. And the thing is like once you become knowledgeable in a subject and you've been knowledgeable for a really long time and you hang in that community for a very long time, it becomes where you think all this is just common sense. Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, us moving out here to Japan, right? Like all this stuff that is common sense to them, not common sense to us. Like, oh, I should be quiet on the train, or I should be over here. This is not common sense to us, but they look at it like we're weird because we're not from here. Exactly. We don't have that common sense. So I take that type of explanation into gaming. Like, yeah, you're going to think it's weird. You're not going to understand what's going on because you haven't been living in it. But like other gamers are going to be looking at you like, yo, how do you not know that? You're like literally playing Call of Duty. You should know this. Exactly. And that's like a toxic mindset that we definitely have to erase.
So I was in the Call of Duty game. He was playing zombies, and we've been playing zombies for like a couple months. And I was with like Rivera, and we was playing it, and some point in the game, I was like, why it takes me like a whole magazine just to kill like these 5 zombies when all of them just shooting and it's done. Like, cause we've been going to like the spot where we have to upgrade your weapon, armor, and all that extra stuff. So I'm just doing like the small perks. I didn't know you can upgrade your own weapon that you just brought into the game. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
That happened after Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
So Black Ops 3 introduced the fact that you could like upgrade all your weapons, which is wild. Which is like extremely wild. So before you had to go to this certain room and like you basically had to work your way up. You had to go to the box, get an awesome weapon that you wanted to upgrade. Say it was the ray gun or like an AK that was like exclusively from the box. You have to take that. And sometimes that's not always the best play because like, you know, back then like only time you could get ammo was off the wall. So like you would take a wall gun that you really, really liked. You'd open up every door. And then once you got the guns you really, really wanted and you had enough kills, you would then press the button, get into this little teleport pad, which would zap you to the upgrade room. Oh. And you would have 30 seconds to upgrade your weapons. Wow. And so you would go and do that. And then after that, as you know, the zombies evolved, people got more famous into it. Because it started out as just like a one-off thing. It wasn't too into, like everyone wasn't all up into it. It was a new concept. And after that, they incorporated it to where you could take your guns, upgrade them, and then go into the game with them. Yeah. That was not a thing. Wow. You started out with a pistol. You started out with a 9mm pistol No extra perks, no nothing. You'd sit there and you'd have to stay in one room for as long as you could so you could rack up enough points because the
Yeah,
door was
that'd
like
be
two
reviving
thousand
me left and
dollars.
right. I'd be like, just let me go.
It was crazy. It was a
My
lot
camping
of fun
pistol.
though. It was a lot of fun.
More of the tactical rifle.
And then they came out with God mode, where like it was basically this cheat going into cheats. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that easy access. I went straight into it. So going into cheats, right? So they had this thing. It was basically a cheat where you could play zombies and you could put this code in, and it would be God mode, right? And so basically, what that would do is where you couldn't die.
Wow.
So you would just literally be killing these, and you could go like because before, if you got up to like round 20, 30 in the original zombies, that was big. That was like a highlight. You were like, holy shit, I did it, because that was extremely bloody hard. And then God mode came out, and people were like going because so when they developed the original Black Ops game, there was no end. Basically, the program would do is they would just every single time it would go up, they would just multiply the zombies. Like no difficulty change, it would just multiply the zombies, and that would be the difficulty change. So technically, if you got past, like there was no end. The game was designed to overrun you, right? So eventually you would die. But with God mode, because you couldn't die, it would just multiply, 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 right? So you could just the game never had a cutoff. So people were getting up to like round 100, round 150, like just murking zombies over and over again to the point where like everyone was using it and then wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
It was like, where's the
They
challenge?
took the
I'm just
fun out
like
of
killing
it,
them
yeah.
all.
Okay.
But like that was like probably the latest era of like cheats.
Okay.
Cheats have been around for a really long time. You're actually playing an older game with Sims where cheats are still used, but cheats aren't really used anymore. It's called mods now. And basically, a lot of people just put in computer programs to help aim assist or like unlock weapons or something like that. But it's like an actual computer programming, which technically cheats back in the day are still computer programming.
Yeah.
But it used to be more of I gotta press X a certain amount of times and then press the directional pad or like so basically you would go X X X 2 times 3 over here down up. You would press all these buttons to unlock a cheat. And I used to do it too. So it used to actually be not so when you did it that way, it was game developers putting the cheats in themselves. So if you had the knowledge to get the cheats, and there was like websites you could go to, you could go and like get cheats. There were like little books of cheats for certain games that you could get to, and the game developers were actually encouraging it because they put it in there.
Yeah.
So you could unlock things. Like I remember playing Ratchet and Clank way back in the day, not the new one. And I actually had a dual-sided lightsaber in it. And it was a cheat. It was in a cheat book. It was known, and you could unlock it. And once you did, you would never want to play with the wrench again because that weapon would destroy everything.
Okay.
Another good one for cheats was always like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
So before now, you can pretty much save all your money, all your weapons, all this stuff. Before you would load up and you wouldn't have much.
Okay.
So you would have to put in every single time you would put in a cheat. Because like back then it was literally just the online part and like being able to run around and stuff and like that was the fun part. Like the missions no one really cared about that until Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay. So like it was cool. Don't hate on me, Grand Theft Auto people. It was cool. But like a lot of people just played it for the fact that you could like do whatever the hell you wanted. Yeah. So people would get in at like level 1, right? Whatever level that is. Like and they would put in the cheats. And it was like a certain amount. You would have like a sheet of paper that you wrote down the cheats on from online. And it would be like, okay, so this cheat is unlimited ammo. This cheat is unlimited weapons, unlimited vehicles, unlimited money. Okay. And sometimes you have invulnerability and stuff like that. And so you would take the time every time you logged in and put in every single one of these cheats. So you'd be sitting there for like good 20 minutes before you're playing just going, cool, that one's good. Let me go to this one. Cool, that one's good. Let me go to this one. Okay. And then you would play with like everything because you had it undone. Problem was like these cheats would get erased every time you like get out of the game. Yeah. So you would come back in and have to do it over again. Yeah. But there was like cheat books for like years of just being able to do that stuff. Even going back all the way to the NES with Mario Brothers and stuff like that. There was cheats for those as well. Wow. You could press in codes to make you jump faster, or everything would get like the mushroom guys wouldn't be able to hit you as hard. So
Okay.
all these cheats are like been around forever. Nowadays, it's just called modding, and
Okay.
because gaming has gotten way more popular and way more televised with Twitch and all this stuff, modding is frowned upon. And the reason for that is because in a competition setting, if you set it to where you can't get hit or your aimbot is like so good that you're aiming 10 times faster than someone else, you're cheating. You know, so like nowadays, like when you're playing online or something like that, or if you're playing in a competition or even just a regular server, there's actually anti-ware in there to stop you from cheating. And if you cheat, it will flag you most of the time and then kick you out of the server. And you could be kicked out for like a really long time.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of people, a lot of big Twitchers and stuff got caught doing that type of stuff. That's why I never claim I'm above average video gamer. Just because I'm good at games, I will never do competitions just because I'm not that good. I just enjoy video games, and I hope that people watching enjoy video games. And you know, so I don't know nothing about the new Black Ops.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna try to answer that because
No,
I don't know.
But yeah, this is my friends. It was like when you play the zombies or that portion, I guess every time you get to a certain level up, you collect or something like that, or you have like some kind of ether crystals. I don't know. Correct. Don't judge me if I got the name wrong, but
It's okay. You're a noob. It's all
it's the
right.
purple ones. So I didn't know I had those, and apparently I could have upgraded my ammo mods or say like if I use a tactical rifle, I could upgrade in my weapons class or whatever this whole entire time. So that's why I kept dying.
Yeah.
It got to the point where at one game I was dying like over 30 times of revives. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, I thought I was improving. And like, you know, I've been playing this for a couple months, guys. Like, what's happening? And there's like, well, did you upgrade your tactical rifle and your mods? I'm like, with what? Like, with your crystals. What are those? And I'm like, oh god. So yeah, that was just funny right there. So some things that you don't know that you could possibly have because they don't have like any instruction manuals on any of the games for real. Especially these new games that come out that it's like have like Uncharted 4 or like Call of Duty.
It's not a new game. But
It's not a new game, but like
it's new
like
to you. It's new to you, but I get it.
The next chapter in each of these games, like if you like say if I jumped into Halo, like a new like say come out with a new Halo.
They're actually coming out with a new Halo Infinite, and they're also going to be doing Halo multiplayer, which is kind of their answer to like the fact that everyone likes playing like because when you play Halo, you play for the story, but like at the end of the day, you're playing for multiplayer. And so they're gonna come out with it on the Game Pass shit, which is why I'm considering getting an Xbox.
Ooh.
I am considering getting a new Xbox just for this simple fact of Halo and Gears of War. But basically, like it's just gonna be online multiplayer, and you're just like, yeah, you just play online and like fight each other, and like the regular multiplayer, which I'm extremely kind of excited for.
Okay.
So maybe we'll be getting an Xbox on this channel. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna weigh the options.
Exciting, so she.
But yeah, you gotta upgrade. You gotta upgrade your stuff. Everything has upgrades.
Thinking about getting
like I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons right now, and I have to upgrade everything like after that. And you have to kind of learn everything because so when I'm playing, I'm like, the misconception is that the most powerful and the most armored defense is the best to go. It's not always the case. Like so I switched everything out last night at like 2 a.m. because I got a whole bunch of new armor and stuff. But I switched out my axe to an electric axe when I should have kept it on fire, and I was like barely doing any damage.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you kind of got to play with it. You got to upgrade. You got to like make everything like the highest stat it can be, and then go from there.
Okay.
Upgrade? No, it is. I love video gaming.
Feel a little bit more confident with playing with my friends and everything, so I don't be like the odd one out, like constantly asking questions like while we're playing. Oh my god.
I mean, we have a really good group for that though. We're never like. When we all jumped on to like Monster Hunter, I was only like 4 days ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like that was like 4 days of like I had never touched a Monster Hunter game until Ellis like got me onto that. And then once I got onto it, I was hooked.
Yeah.
Now granted, I have video game background to support me and like kind of like, okay, so this is where I need to go. So I kind of understand that part, but still like in the concept of the game itself and learning the mechanics, I was right there with you. I wasn't that far ahead.
Like that's the key too, just having some really cool like understanding online friends.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That will help you out throughout the game because you guys totally did. I didn't know what a kinetic the little the bugs kinetic weapon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I still don't know.
Pinsent blade?
Yeah. Yeah, that one. I still don't know how to do the jump in. Like, apparently, if you hit it 3 times, that's how you increase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to hit it, and then once it turns on to whatever that color is, then you go and attack.
Yeah.
That's how you get the weakening point. Otherwise, you're just doing a basic attack on
Yeah, I was doing basics the whole entire time.
But I had to learn that too, because I did a Kinston Blade for a huge amount of time. Now I'm on Charge Blades on Monster Hunter Rise. But yeah, I mean, you just have to learn everything. You have to like just be open to that. Like, I don't know. People get so intimidated with video games. I know Mel is as well. Like, she is like so afraid to like touch things. So I got her Zelda. I got her one of the Zelda games. I think it was the musical one.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna like this. I'm not." Next thing I know, I look over, and this is back when we were living in the barracks. And I look over. I'm playing a game, and I look over, and she's just there like. I killed him. I killed him. And it was like the most adorable thing in the world. Like, and that's why I love the hell out of her, because she thinks she's not a gamer. And then as soon as I put that, like, I got that not knowing that she was going to play the Nintendo Switch. That was like a total risky moment.
Yeah.
Like, that could have been like something that she like sat down and never touched again.
Yeah.
And I mainly got it because I play video games ridiculously amount of the time. And she would just kind of be sitting there back when we lived in the barracks. So it's like, I need something to kind of buffer that. Because like, she's never told me not to do what I love.
Yeah.
But I'm also considerate that I'm like, all right, she's just sitting there. She's kind of bored.
Yeah. Let
me get her something. So I got her in the Nintendo Switch not knowing if she was going to play it. And now she plays that. She plays Animal Crossing. She's hooked. I think she took it on deployment.
Yeah, you just
hopefully she doesn't lose it.
Give it a chance. That's what I did for finally with the PlayStation. It was like, it was just sitting there. Just only.
I still can't get over the fact that you use that as.
Because it was online was intimidating. So like whenever I got it, and then I was playing, I guess I had the Sims 4, and so I had that game. That's usually what I always just stuck to, because Sims is pretty easy. It's just, build a house, control your.
I think some Sim players are going to fight you on that.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
It's not as easy, because obviously,
I didn't get into Sims just because I'm more of I want a story. I want more. Like, if you give me too much free reign, I have ADHD. So, like, if I don't have, like, a straight path to focus in on, I'm not doing shit. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I love Assassin's Creed. I do. It's one of my favorite series. I got the, gauntlet right there, the hidden blade. All right, I love Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla gave me way too much to do. It was like a lot of the same repetition of the same quest, but then it would encourage me to go out. But it was so vast that I had I couldn't focus. Yeah. I just was like bouncing back and forth. Then you give me a game like Ratchet and Clank, Dungeons and Dragons, which is why I love Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of hate for this game right now, but the reason I love it is because it's simple. Kind of like Monster Hunter, right? You get your mission, you go and do it. And then you come back, you upgrade your shit, you go and do another one. Yes, there's a story to it. Yes, there's like other things, but it's so straightforward that I know, hey, I'm in this map. There's a bunch of stuff to loot. There's a bunch of monsters to kill, and there's an end goal to get to. And that is like my core of like what games I like to do, which is why like Black Ops and stuff like that hasn't always been my favorite, just because it's so vast. It's so like what do you focus on? That's why when I did play, I was a team deathmatch player, and I like nuked the hell out of people. But that's because like I could die and come back. Any game that I die and I have to restart everything is annoying. Like when I played Demon Souls, it pissed me off for a good 4 hours. Before I got the hang of it. Then I started to love Demon Souls. But it pissed me off because I would get halfway through the game. I would get halfway through a level, die, restart. Yeah. And that shit aggravates the hell out of me.
The adventure or first person shooter games, those are kind of, so far that I've noticed that I like. Obviously, Sims is always like.
Yeah, I mean, I have noticed you've been gravitating toward like Call of Duty, but I wouldn't have saw that coming from like when we used to play Monster
Hunter. They got me hooked on it just because I'm trying to get a little better and better, especially with my aiming. Front sights and all that extra stuff. Yeah, but
I mean, PC gamers are always gonna get that better aim.
God, PCs, man! I swear, every time when I see a PC on the online where we're going, I'm like, no.
No, so I give a lot of hate. I do technically have a PC. It's right over there. I don't normally play just because I love console better. God, I didn't think we were gonna get into this, but I guess since we're still talking, we'll get into it. PC versus console really is just honestly a preference. Like as a console player, I know that the CPU on a PC is a lot better than my console. Even though the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox is almost up to par, because you can customize your PC, it becomes where it's a lot easier and faster running.
Okay.
So I understand that, and I understand that one day I'll probably gravitate towards more PC, but I always love that console. I love having that like center of where all my stuff is.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
has
Like
that-
I feel like with a PC,
has, like,
you sometimes
keyboard.
lose it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean, I have a keyboard. I have stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just weird to me because it's like you gotta click, 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 mouse it.
So actually, I play World of Warcraft sometimes, and it's actually a lot more fun than you think to be able to like. It's complicated at first when you're not used to it, but being able to like go into depth on like different keystrokes and like learning how to do that is actually really fun. And actually, a fun note is you can actually take that keyboard and that mouse, which is Razer, and attach it to your console. You can use it in Call of Duty.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can actually use all that. It's not so. A lot of people are like, so the mouse having that range and that aim does improve it a lot. It makes it way quicker because instead of like, having to go like this, you're now, moving really quick with that cursor, so you're able to aim faster. But the main reason is like a lot of people still don't do it is because the difference between PC and console is even if I use a keyboard and a mouse on a console, the CPU it still isn't going to run as fast as a homemade PC.
Okay.
So it's still not processing the same amount. So when you're playing online, right, there's still a lag even though you don't see it.
Yeah.
So that PC console is going to run faster than that lag. And now it may be like a 2-3 second lag from console or PC, right? But that 3 second lag is a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference.
Okay.
So like that 3 second lag is, while we never notice it because we're playing on consoles, it is quite a difference. It is quite a difference. That's why a lot of times when you're going like this, someone's already on you and killed you.
It's too late. Like I
You know?
thought I saw him.
I do have. So all right, before we wrap this up, any questions, any oddball things rolling out of your head that you want to ask while you're here?
No, I feel a lot better. Especially with me being a gamer. So far I don't have to call myself a
No, you
noob.
gotta say that with pride. Come
Yes,
on.
I'm a gamer.
There we
Thank
go.
you. Gamer here. Getting the t-shirt. Right when I find it. I'm probably just gonna make it noob but gamer. I'm like Noober game.
I should make t-shirts with that on it.
I really should. It
Game
should be
Over Guild Noob Squad.
Noob Squad over here. But yeah, I feel a lot better, especially with going online and playing with the friends and everything, and being more confident on purchasing games, especially with that, because I feel like especially ones that have been out for a while and they're just making a newer version of it. I feel like jumping in, I won't know as much, but now that I have like the resources to go around and ask the questions instead of just going with the flow,
Yeah.
would be better. So I will be definitely.
I mean, you got a really good community around you,
Yeah.
where we're not really afraid to like call each other out, but then
Yeah.
also not afraid to like help each other out.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys help me in. That's why I stayed. Like usually, that's the main reason why from 2016 till now I have not played the game because
Yeah.
live was always intimidating to me. I always thought like if you get on live you have to be an expert gamer. That's what I always assumed. So I'm like,
not at all.
I don't even. know
There's
what a
so many
D-pad
non-expert
is, so-
gamers online.
Yeah, so it's like a lot better for me now. So that way I can like actually purchase more games.
Yeah.
Pretty much go on the PS Now and see what that's about, and PS Plus finally know. What
Yeah,
that's
definitely
all
figure it
about.
out because like there's probably a lot of games that you're
Yeah.
missing out on
A
that you
lot.
could have got for free or just heavily discounted.
Yeah, right when we're done, I'm about to go on that and figure out what games did I miss out.
No,
so.
definitely having like a good squad to hang out with and like get information from is good. And then also it's good to have like that good group of online friends that are also going to call you out on your dumb shit.
Exactly.
Looks like my lights are dying, so we definitely got to wrap this up.
All right.
I just want to say thanks for coming out. Thanks for doing
Thanks
this.
for having me.
It definitely means a lot to me. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and we're definitely going to continue to make this show a thing. I'm so excited to see the progress that the Waypoint is going to go to. And for everyone watching at home, on YouTube, leave that like, subscribe, so that way you can stay up to date. Go ahead and go over to the Game Over Guild on Instagram so you can see behind the scenes and also get updates on everything that we're doing. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And stick around for like the next episode coming out in probably the next 2 weeks, man.
Yeah,
So that was our interview with the Noob. Thanks, Craig, for coming out.
Thank you for having the Noob.
You guys take it easy.